welcome everybody to the Give It Podcast, podcast for blurs, for nerds. If you have a fandom, you are most certainly welcome here. I'm your host, the most Black Spartan, of course. My co-host to my left and right, depending on your screen is flipped, Safari TV and Show I Got Joe. How you guys doing this evening?
Chilling.
Joe?
I'm recovering from going to Golden Corral.
You're recovering from... I mean, Golden Corral will give you itis. But with that being said, guys, we are, as you can see, a little bit older, so we do try to watch our language. Sometimes words do fly. At the same time, there may be things that might be shown of a graphic of a trailer or movie nature that might have a little bit of graphic violence that you're used to. So viewer discretion is advised. Aside from that, welcome. So how we're starting off with tonight, guys, usually we start upbeat, very positive. But we do have to, report on a somber note. A fellow podcaster, a guy who has basically educated a lot of people on comics. You probably know him as Comicstorian. Others may know him as Ben Potter. As of this week, unfortunately, he has no longer with us due to losing his life in a car accident. Again, he was 40 years old. Ben Potter, as you see right there, was a guy known on YouTube as Comicstorian. If you know who Comicstorian is, you're more than likely either been educated or use him as a resource because he is one of the very few guys out there. And guys, correct me if I'm wrong, arguably one of the most purest sources of comic lore that you can get out there. But yes, he is survived by his wife. And if you don't know his channel, guys, we do want to show love by actually showing his channel, which again is Comicstorian on YouTube. And we just want to show a little bit of what this man does.
Sits in front of a camera and rants and raves about stupid stuff because it's what I'm known for. Not keeping my mouth shut. If you've stumbled across this channel from a weird part of the internet, my name is Benny. I am the Comicstorian. We run a channel in which we basically take comic books, turn them into audio dramas so that you know what's going on in the world of comics. We do this because following every single comic book that comes out is expensive and difficult to do. But I always recommend you go check out your local comic book store because, if you don't buy the comics, then this stuff doesn't exist anymore. And today I want to talk about reboots. In my recent super deep dive into Marvel and why it's made me come to appreciate DC's reboots. What are you talking about, Benny? The general consensus in the comic book community is that reboot bad. It is, but it's not. Let's talk about that. So recently we launched a new channel, Comicstorian Classic. Over there, I'm able to just read hundreds of comic books and dump them onto the channel the old way we used to do Comicstorian. And I will link it down below if you want to go check it out. What I'm using it for are comic books that wouldn't survive in the algorithm because nobody wants to watch a Poison Ivy comic and nobody wants to watch, the entirety of Fall of X. But I do want to cover those because I just enjoy the world of comics. But what it has made me realize with all of this reading of Marvel through all of Fall of X and all of Spider-Man and all of Venom is that I just want a reboot. You see, we recently also did a video known as The Entire History of the X-Men, in which I had to sit down and look up every core storyline that had happened to the X-Men since the 60s, which made me realize that all the knowledge that I'm gaining from reading all of Fall of X and Spider-Man and Wolverine and everything is still missing some key holes. When a brand new character is introduced in any of those books, you're like, oh, it must be a brand new character, only to discover they're from 50 years ago because the writer decided to do a deep cut. When Nick Spencer decided to do his Amazing Spider-Man run, the entire hype was based around the villain Kindred. Kindred's the super big bad villain. Kindred has history with Peter Parker. Kindred knows what's going on. Come to find out, the storyline involving Kindred is that I believe he was Harry, not Norman, a clone of Harry. It was a cut to the 90s during an entire storyline in which Norman Osborn had seemingly had 2 kids with Gwen Stacy. It's what it boils down to. A moment that is a meme within the comic book community because of how stupid it is. It's almost on the level of Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch had ancestral lovemaking in the Ultimate Universe originally, and then some idiots going on Reddit going, hey guys, do you think the new Ultimate Universe is going to do one of the most memed, problematic relationships ever in comics? No, I don't think they will. But the point I'm making is Kindred was not some new villain. Kindred was a deep dive into the history of comic books. We had a similar situation happen with the series known as Infinity Warps, where a new character, Requiem, was introduced only to be revealed to be Gamora. It wasn't too big of a deep dive or a deep cut, but it was still like no new characters. No, because Marvel's pulling from 60 years of comic book history.
Now I gotta stop it there because number one, I can't only speak for myself. I know I can't speak for Joe or Tafari, but I could watch this man all day. Just because of the history that this man knows. And again, he puts it in a way to where it's not condescending. It's not, you should have known this. He actually does encourage you to go out and actually read these issues. And he's very passionate about it. It actually makes a lot of logical points. But Joe, correct me if I'm wrong on this, because as of right now, I haven't found anything as far as a GoFundMe. I think you said that his wife is going to be continuing the channel. Is that right? You're muted, Joe.
It's a possibility. She says she's continuing in some way, shape, or form. I can only imagine that absolutely Marvel and DC will continue in some way, shape, or form. Continue to support the channel. I don't know if it's going to be with Sal from Comic Pop, Hassan from Hussadare, and Dan, their Ninja Room editor and whatnot. Tough to say. This really, really does bum me out because Benny is one of the corner pillars of internet comic awareness, and he's going to be so greatly missed. I've been listening to him since the weekly poll, which had Comics Explained, Cape Joel, Comic Pop, and him. I was a regular subscriber to Absolutely Marvel and DC and Comics Experiment. I watched the Twitch show like literally the day before he passed. Or like 2 days before he passed. Like, it's just a really, really big blow, and you don't really see what someone's legacy is until they're gone. This was reported everywhere. You just don't think about stuff like this. Like, I saw People magazine, USA Today, Forbes, everybody was reporting his death. Everybody on Twitter, like, the comic community is just really in mourning because we lost somebody that was an advocate for us. Truly loved it. Even got to write a backup story, I believe, in Valiant at one point before Valiant went crazy, but that's another thing. We just lost a pillar of the industry. It's not something you easily recover from. I'm not going to go out on a limb and say it's like losing a friend. I did not interact with this person. I was merely a listener, but I will miss him nonetheless. I really don't know what else to say on this. It's just a really big blow.
Yeah, I mean, he was to me, he was like one of those guys that genuinely did love comics, wanted to talk about them, wanted to encourage people to read them. And again, it's just going to be hard to find that. But Tafari, did you want to add anything else to that?
Yeah, doing Blurred's Eye and a lot of the stories y'all reference, I would go to his page every now and then because, like you said, buying books is expensive or trying to get a quick recap. I think the first video I ever saw from him was, I think I saw online they were printing Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe, the first one, and I didn't know what it was, but he always had a breakdown. So anytime I was curious about, what that or the sequel was, or why what was the Spider-Man story? One More Day was such a hated story. That dude was always the first recommendation that came up with an explanation. So even the way his wife kind of tweeted it, I could tell it had to be a sudden accident, but it sucks. That dude's been around for a while.
Exactly. But again, for all of us here at Give It Podcast, we do want to wish Miss Potter, our thoughts and prayers are with you. And again, rest in peace to a guy who really did make it his life mission. And hopefully, whatever may become if others do decide to continue his work, may they be able to do definitely that. But we definitely want to give our flowers and our respect to a fellow podcaster and fellow. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Say not just his wife, but to like Sal from Comic Pop, Cape Joel, Huston, all those like he worked with intimately. Rob from Comics Explained. Our condolences go out to them as well, because they are also directly affected by them. Because like Sal put out a statement recently, it's like there was not a week I did not interact with him.
And this goes to show you how many people he really did touch. But again, our thoughts, prayers, flowers, respect, condolences, and peace to his family and to those that love him. Gonna be really hard to move from that, but we are going to try to do just that, because as we do pay our respects, as me and Tafari both did on Blurred's Eye View yesterday, we went ahead and gave our salute, because we will never see a Blade movie. And again, we're just going to go ahead and salute this out, because Blade has now lost again, for all those that don't know, Blade is at this point, it's cursed this moment. The reason why I bring this up is because Jan Demange, who was the second director to be brought on to direct Blade, has now left the project. So if you're keeping count, it's 2 directors and 6 screenwriters by now that have been attached to this movie and now detached this movie. So again, this is a movie that has a release date of November 2025. Now that date is in question. But fellas, I'm just going to throw this out there. Is it time to throw in the white flag, or is it just time, or is it still hope that somewhere, somehow, Mahershala Ali will be the famous vampire hunter we'll see in the MCU?
If Ryan Coogler is still making that vampire movie, he has an opportunity to do the funniest thing right now. And then especially with rumors of Wesley possibly appearing in Deadpool, that's just going to reignite the fire under everyone's behind. But I need to know what is the Topher Grace Venom plot line they're trying to force in there that every writer and director is going absolutely not.
I'd like to know. Joe, you got any idea?
What are we talking about? I thought we were talking about Blade.
Yeah. But again, with Blade, it's like outside of, and again, not to go into the rumor mill, we're not going to sit there and say that the current director and Mahershala Ali had creative differences. It's the reason why he left. It has not been confirmed. It's just a fact that 2019, if I'm right, 2019, 2020. So 4 years later, according to IGN, he's still attached to the project of this movie. And for an actor of his caliber, projects he can't just simply sit on that are not going anywhere, because man's got to make money. Other projects coming down the road with budgets and time constraints, and saying, hey, if you want to sign on to do this, you got to come on. I mean, we've seen that happen with other movies where if they get delayed enough, that director has already made commitments to other projects and they either have to leave it or it gets delayed. Do I think that the Blade movie can get made? Yes. Do I think, and I'm with Tafari on this, does it need to be in the hands of Ryan Coogler? Ryan Coogler-esque director, yeah, I'll give you that. Because I'll be honest, I think they want to keep Coogler for Black Panther because of the fact that where Black Panther's going, the fact that they still want to keep that in the MCU and make additional movies surrounding Wakanda. I think they're going to keep him there as a central director. Does Blade need one? Yes. I mean, I'm trying to figure out, because with the writing, and again, if you want to see our discussion on Blade at Blurred's Eye View, definitely check out Blurred's Eye View, because we kind of broke this out in several different ways. We did sit there and say it's about the shareholders, because if the shareholders don't have a lot of money, if the shareholders don't have a lot of faith this movie's going to make a lot of money, then of course their influence is going to be there. We also sat there and said that, when we initially heard the first script of the Blade movie, it was like, oh, well, Blade's not the central character, but these other people are, which again, made people a little bit mad. And then let's not also forget Eternals, where the only reference of Blade we have is literally seeing the Black Knight about to pick up the sword after he says, "Death is my reward," and you get one line. So, with that being said, I don't understand. Even with Marvel's Blood Hunt, which, by the way, is great so far. If you haven't read it, but it just like, guys, correct me if I'm wrong here. It's like, is the movie just cursed, or the fact that we having a Warner Brothers problem? Like, some people are in the way of actually allowing directors and screenwriters to actually get the job done.
I think somebody's meddling. I don't know what it is, because I feel like we don't even need. We're not supposed to be getting this much information about how many people are on and off the project. Mm-hmm. And then whoever, I feel like the hero who said keep him off screen for Eternals, probably is maybe the person who saw all this coming.
Maybe. Joe, what about you?
I'm wondering if this is because of the restructuring Marvel's doing right now with their film division to get back into people's good graces, their new version of quality control. Mm-hmm. I wonder if this dude got caught up in it. But at the same time, and I please understand, I do not mean this disparagingly. This is a Blade movie. This is not that hard. We had 3 of them. 2 of them were fantastic. It's a very simple process. Make vampires killing people. Let the nice gentleman that's a part vampire walk in the sun, do detective work, then fight vampires at night using gadgets. Fight big said vampire. It doesn't have to be Dracula. It can be Deacon Frost. It can be Dracula. It could be one of the new Blood Coven. It could be that new whatever his name is, Bloodstorm 1. That could be your new bad guy or something. Or heck, it could be Dazzler's ex-boyfriend from Executioners for all I care. Who's the nephew or great-grandson of Dracula, but just still a prick. But still, my point is, I laid out the beats on how to make a Blade movie. They fight at night. Detective works in the day, fights at night, fight big bad guy, end of story.
I just find it interesting that, and I have to give Greg Day this. I have to give Greg Day credit for this. He says, you guys don't like the direction the MCU Blade is going. How many of you are out there buying the comics of the writers that are currently writing Blade, which have been doing great? But again, that does bring up the issue. It's just that, why is it that there seems to be this big wall, I guess is the best way I could put it, is that there's a big wall somewhere between writing and getting a director, and it's just like, and again, Joe, just to add on to what you're saying, it's not that hard. Blade does have a rogue. He does have his rogue gallery of enemies is not that big, but there's plenty of stories you can tell, and literally you can start from anywhere. But again, it's amazing to me that for a movie that could really have a simple concept, it's having that much trouble getting off the ground. But
are any of the writers on Blood Hunt previous Blade movie writers, or?
Good question.
It's just Jed McKay.
Yeah.
He's overseeing like the whole thing, because I know Blood Hunt.
Yeah, McKay. I think McKay is overseeing the whole entire Blood Hunt.
Okay.
He's overseeing the whole entire thing, because Blood Hunt is predominantly Doctor Strange, Blade, or Doctor Strange, Moon Knight, and the Avengers, which are all his current books, with tie-ins focusing mostly on Miles. So that's Cody Ziegler, and then we got one-shots here and there, but the bigger tie-ins are Miles.
Right.
At the moment. Even Scarlet Witch isn't doing too much with it. And Black Panther, but I don't know if Black Panther has an ongoing right now or not.
It does.
Okay.
Are you talking about with Blood Hunt or a separate story?
Like in general. I don't know if Black Panther has an ongoing at the moment.
It is. Yeah, it's still ongoing.
Okay.
So it's tied into that. But I don't know. Like I said, I want to go ahead and salute it just because I don't think it'll ever get made, but I could be wrong.
At this point, whatever story y'all were trying to tell, put it in the video game.
Pretty much. You couldn't do any better you couldn't do any worse than Rocksteady. Anyway, sorry, that was terrible. We did actually get some trailer news. We're gonna start with the first one because after our podcast last Friday, this came out for Street Fighter, which we did talk about the fact that we were going to be seeing some new fighters come in. We actually did get the trailer for M. Bison. I'm gonna be honest with you, you kind of a badass if you just riding a horse with no hands. But here's the trailer.
I love that they're paying homage to Raw Julia in this.
Do I resemble this man you call Bison? I shall take that name for myself. Interesting. I shall crush your spirit. This is it. Throw me over. I will tame you in due time. Cry for mercy. Prepare. There's a problem with your life. Your demise awaits. Your time ends here. Satisfy my hunger. That is all I need from you.
So that was actually the trailer, guys, for the M. Bison that will be released this summer. Joe, I got a question though, because something he said I just now caught on to. Did he sit there and say that M. Bison is a name? The M. Bison's name I take for myself.
So they have confirmed, lore-wise, that this is the reanimated body of Bison from Street Fighter V. So it's been like God knows how many years.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a Bison with amnesia and a horse. The horse is paying homage to either Fist of North Star's Rao or Raw Julia. We are so wanting this to drop on a Tuesday. It's so badly.
It needs to.
Just for the moon joke. There's also a lot of controversy going on with him right now.
Oh, Lord.
This is going to be like sound very crass, and I apologize. It comes with the stomping knee to the neck on Guile.
Okay.
It's being called, and this is not a name that I will say. This is what's been. People are reaching for the Floyd murder.
They're trying to relate it to the George Floyd murder.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. And to which I say this, and I don't know what you guys' opinions on this are. I would understand that if it was being done to the not quite Sean character.
Mm-hmm.
But this is being done to Guile. These are Japanese developers. They don't give a crap about our day-to-day lives.
Pretty much.
You guys are reaching if you're trying to like grasp at that point of being offended. And he's a dictator. Of course, he's going to lay his knee across any part of the body he wishes to any enemy he comes across. So,
and I'm going to add on to that. That's reaching, because the reason why out of all that is, number one, it's a fighting game. At that point, anything that's in a fighting game related to real life is a stretch in itself. M. Bison was step tensing on people's heads. He was scissor kicking. He was doing upside down lariats. Come on now. Oh, hey, lady, how's it going? So the whole idea of just it's a reach. I mean, it's a reach. I'll agree with that. It is a reach. Just because it's a fighting game, it's not. To be so relatable to where situation, all that it is. So, I mean, Tafari, you want to add anything on that?
I mean, yeah, you can't really say that this is what they're trying to make it out to be, and at the same time, look at how confused Harada is with Waffle House still. That man is trying his best to understand, and he's just not getting it.
Wait, is he still asking questions? Wait, time out. Is he still asking questions about that?
He was asking last week about why, I get it now, but why? Why is there always violence in these restaurants, and why do y'all keep going there?
That part.
I think I want to understand the culture around it so bad, but I can't find any solid answers. So clearly they don't know what's going on over here, over there.
Someone just needs to explain to him, this is how we throw our family into volcanoes.
That too.
We go to Waffle House at 3 a.m.
This is our Mishima way. That's pretty much what it is. But no, realistically, it's reaching. But
so is Bison again now Grim Reaper now with the horse and the cloak? Because that was the main complaint everybody else. So I thought Bison died last game or whatever happened.
So I mean, Bison died last game. Geese Howard's fallen off the building how many times? Now he's coming back. Team Orochi died in 96, and now they're a playable team in KOF 15.
Yeah.
Chris Yashiro and Shermie. To which I will quote Maximilian Dude on this one. They can be dead until they're wanted to be brought back enough to where money says, bring them back.
Very much.
Now,
but no.
Now, I did put out a good joke about this one. It's like, once again, Charlie Nash has died for nothing, but he'll come back. Probably looking like Lord Raptor from Darkstalkers, but he'll put Bison in the ground with him at some point. Gameplay-wise, I think Bison plays, outside of his specials, I think he plays incredibly differently now. I think he's a bit more mobile than he used to be. He may not even be a charge character anymore, maybe except for Psycho Crusher, but Lord only knows. A lot of people thought it was Sagat, and then everyone, people with more common sense, well, that means Sagat got a foot shorter and grew a lot of hair.
I mean, the man's still bald.
And apparently grew an eye back.
I'm like, when you get that kind of hatred, that baldness is still there. That's a special kind of hatred. That's all I'm saying.
I don't even know why they would bring Sagat back. And they keep naming all these people they want to be brought back. It's like, this is actually moving forward. Ryu, Ken, and Chun-Li are in their 40s.
Right.
We literally see Balrog is retired and just living his life in a penthouse because he's too old to fight anymore. Sagat, Lord knows how old Sagat is, but there's no point of Sagat being there unless he got a new tutor or something, because Ryu's grown beyond Sagat. That was his only motivation.
Let's not forget Akuma just seems to still be around, but just that he's starting to look more like a, correct me if I'm wrong, he's starting to look more like a retired saint than an actual fighter.
He's an old Japanese man that's slowly becoming just that bear that lives in the woods that won't go away. Pretty
much. But no, still good trailer. Again, we're not with the whole reaching thing. Let's just enjoy the game for what it is. So what say, Joe?
He's coming out right around the corner, because they already put out the full gameplay breakdown on him too. So end of the month, early July earliest.
Yeah, they said summer, so I say July. But I want to get to this because, like I said, news came out after our podcast, so that was the only thing. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero did give us a game mode showcase. Oh, thank you, Dead Rice. Thanks for watching.
Yep.
So Dragon Ball Sparking Zero did give us a game mode showcase. Tafari, Joe, anything y'all guys want to say before I play it?
Let's roll it first, and then I'll chime in.
The room of spirit and time.
A test of power. I guess we'll see. This will be when the true battle begins.
True power!
You lose it to a million pieces, just like I did that earlier.
You talking about thrilling? Don't you dare! Enough with the hell of you. You were on the ride. Are you ready? Do it!
Well, the way you slice it, there's only one way to save Earth. Goodbye, my friends. No matter what it takes, I need to rescue Gohan. Goku, wait!
What? Never, ever forgive me for this! Now you will suffer my wrath! You are a prison boy! I will show you the true form of autonomous focus. My turn is change everything, then do it! This is nothing! I don't think you can win!
There's no way.
皆さんこんにちは。ドラゴンボールスパーキングゼロのメインプロデューサーの古谷と申します。本日はよろしくお願いいたします。先ほど皆様に見ていただいたのは6月上旬に公開したトレーラーでした。映像にもありました通り、本作は10月10日に発売決定いたしました。応援してくださっている皆様には改めて感謝申し上げます。発売を楽しみにお待ちいただけたらと思っています。今回はトレーラーではお伝えしきれなかった2つのゲームモード、エピソードバトルとカスタムバトルの詳細を新規ゲーム映像を使用してお伝えいたします。まずはエピソードバトルです。このモードは悟空やベジータなど8人のキャラクターから選んだキャラクター目線で原作の物語に沿ったシチュエーションのバトルを楽しめる一人用のモードです。物語の流れやシチュエーションがわかる導入パートと実際にプレイするバトルパートを繰り返しながら進めていくものになっております。キャラクターごとにボリュームは様々ですが、最も長い悟空については、ドラゴンボール Z のラディッツとの戦いから始まり、ドラゴンボールスーパーの力の大会編の戦いまでのバトルステージが用意されています。原作で苦戦していた相手と歯応えのあるバトルが楽しめるようになっていたり、一部の物語パートは一人称視点で楽しめるなど、キャラクターとしての体感を味わえるモードになっています。一部のステージに限られますが、物語のターニングポイントとなっていた場面での選択やバトルの結果次第で、原作とは異なる場面に出くわすこともありますので、ぜひドラゴンボールのキャラクターになったつもりでお楽しみください。以上がエピソードバトルの説明となります。そして2つ目のモード、カスタムバトルをご紹介いたします。こちらはオリジナルのシチュエーションのバトルを楽しめるモードです。カスタムバトルモードの中にあるエクストラバトルでは、ゲームオリジナルの様々なシチュエーションのバトルをお楽しみいただけます。中には特殊な勝利条件のものや、途中でイベント演出が挟まるものなど、通常のバトルとは異なる戦いもお楽しみいただけます。また、エディットモードでは、プレイキャラクターやバトル前後のカットシーン、会話などをプレイヤーの皆様が自由に設定してオリジナルのバトルを作ることができます。そして作ったものはアップロードして世界中のプレイヤーの皆様と共有できますので、ぜひ皆様の思い描くシチュエーションのバトルを披露し合って楽しんでいただけたらと思っております。エクストラバトルを含め既存のバトルをカスタマイズして新たなバトルを作ることもできますので、ぜひいろいろなバトルを作って遊んでみてください。以上、エピソードバトル、カスタムバトル、2つのメインモードのご紹介でした。また、ゲームモードに加え、 皆様から多くの声を頂戴しているオフラインバトルに関してもお話ができればと思います。本作はプレイヤーの皆様がどれだけドラゴンボールのキャラクターになりきった体験ができるかということにフォーカスして開発を進めてまいりました。気を高めるだけで風が巻き起こったり、天気が変わったり、バトルの余波で岩や建物が豪快に壊れたりなど、超パワーをより気持ちよく体感できるよう、最新のプラットフォームだからこそ実現できる様々な演出をリアルタイムに描くようにしています。それらの表現とかつてのような画面分割でのローカル対戦とを両立させるのは困難であったものの、皆様により良いゲーム体験を提供できるよう、今作ならではの形を模索し、オンラインでの対戦を前提とした一人用のゲームとして開発を進めてまいりました。ただ、少しでもより多くの方、多くのシチュエーションで遊んでいただきたいと思い、結果、精神と時の部屋限定で画面分割対戦を実装できることとなりました。もともと一人用前提で作ってきておりましたため、バトル開始前のキャラクター選択画面では2人同時に選択ができず、切り替えが必要といった不便な箇所が残ってしまいますが、身近な人とお楽しみいただけると嬉しいです。今回ご紹介させますが、本作の魅力がお伝えできていれば幸いです。また現在予約解禁しております。通常版だけではなく、発売より少し先に本編をプレイすることができるアーリーアクセスが入ったデジタルデラックスエディションやアルティメットエディションなど様々な販売形態を用意しておりますので、チェックしていただければ幸いです。予約特典はキャラクター6体の早期開放券に加え、プレイヤブルキャラクター1体が手に入るものになっておりますので、お見逃しなく。他にも本作に登場するキャラクターに焦点を当てたキャラクタートレーラーも公開しておりますので、ぜひご覧ください。引き続き発売に向けて全力を尽くしてまいりますので、今後ともぜひドラゴンボールスパーキングゼロをよろしくお願いいたします。ご視聴ありがとうございました。
Okay, so that, guys, was the big game mode showcase for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. As you guys can see, will be available October 11th on all platforms. What do you say, lady? Why I gotta be sub? I can't multitask. Well, I'm sorry, but we try our best.
That was all they gave us.
So, fellas, outside of the modes they did present, outside the creative match one, I'm just gonna be honest. They're looking for anime ideas on that.
I feel like, even though they have like 3 whole arcs worth of stuff we haven't drawn.
Oh, that's anime ideas. They want to sit there and see. And don't be wrong, the whole creative battle to where you can, mix and match, do the outcomes, and do the post scenes. That's great, because we've always wanted to see how different fights can go. I mean, outside of the what if scenarios. So, I mean, for what all they're doing, it looks great. At the same time, y'all look for anime ideas. I'm just saying, you're slick about it. Don't get me wrong, you're slick, but that's anime ideas. But what do you guys think?
I like that one of the what if scenarios is what if Hercule joined the Tournament of Power. I feel like it's gonna be it's gonna be him on all fours curling up the hide, and Jiren trips over him, and that's how we win.
I can see that. Although that would be funny as hell, but I can see that.
And then we got first person cutscenes I noticed too. So I think a lot of the story through other characters' eyes, which is going to be interesting. I'm curious what the conditions will be for getting the what if stuff, and just seeing how the scenarios play out with the custom modes that people are going to download.
That will be interesting because, again, outside the what ifs, outside the create mode, outside of what was the other thing they discussed? Create mode, battles. They haven't got to the online play yet, but I'm pretty sure that's going to run smoothly. I don't really see a lot of issues with that. It's just
it feels like the co-op was added last minute because you can only do it in the hyperbolic time chamber.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Joe. What are you saying?
So this is Namco. We're gonna get subpar netcode unless it's Tekken.
Yeah, that is also true. But I mean, overall, it does look nice. It does make me want to. It does actually make me want to play it just because I want to see how far they're allowing us as the fans to do with Dragon Ball. Because again, like I said, still looking for anime ideas. But anything else y'all want to add to it? Mm-hmm. What's that?
Well, I mean, they soft confirmed Dragon Ball GT, so Tournament of Power 17 versus Super 17. Which one is the true 17 of the future?
You're just gonna get the anime ideas, Joe. You're gonna get the anime ideas.
I mean,
Matter just all-out Android assault. See how many androids Trunks can make through it as the future changes. Or if I really want to be that, or if I really want to do anime stuff, the True Lightning of Absolution, Omega Shenron versus Fuse Zamasu.
That would be an interesting fight. Would be cool.
Shadow Dragon versus the Shadow God. I saw that they have, on top of beam clashes, they have grab clashes now. And one of the funny tweets I saw was like, well, what is Future Gohan supposed to do?
The grab from the movie where he just grabs 17 by the hand and just like slams him down by the feet.
Still.
I guess, but like the clash is two hands and you have to button mash to see who wins.
Oh, he's just going to go like this and then grab him. You know what he's going to do. I also learned that we're going to be getting manga exclusive attacks, such as Vegeta's Gamma Ray burst.
Yeah, I saw that the Gamma Ray burst in there. And then we're getting the father-son Gallic gun, I think.
Yeah.
Or the father-son Final Flash. Because the what if, I guess, Trunks and Vegeta finished off Cell is one of them.
Yeah, that's a one of our scenarios. So
there's that. I wonder if we are gonna get like some of the weirder attacks from like some of the other games now too. So like Final Shine or Final Dragon Flash or
it's possible.
Double Final Shine.
Well, apparently with some of the characters, the costume change will give you your moveset. So I'm hoping that will be the case.
Either way, we'll come.
Go ahead.
Now I was gonna say either way, we're gonna find out come October 11th. But what are you gonna say, Joe?
I have been noticing, and I know Tafari's already put out a strongly worded message for the Dragon Ball tubers that are currently playing the demo build right now at their leisure. I don't want to make it any madder than he already is. I've been watching where everyone's beating on Vegeta, and I'm noticing that we are having quite a significant amount of close damage in this game as well. Because he has his Namek uniform, and then it gets blown up, and it looks like what he looked like right after he fought Raccoon.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, stuff like that. They do explain how Hercule flies.
I saw a gameplay of him fighting, and I'm just like, I'm with the jetpack. No jetpack this time?
No, so apparently Boo shrinks and enters into him and gives him the ability to fly.
Wow. But he still summons Boo for his ultimate.
Yes. Boo's always with him.
I have no words.
I guess that's one way to do it. Curious what they do for other characters like Grandpa Gohan or whatnot. I haven't seen a lot of classic Dragon Ball characters in it, but I feel like it would be weird to leave them out and bring Daima in, which is just Dragon Ball again.
Yeah. It would be interesting.
I know I saw Shoeless Goku, but I don't know if that's end of Piccolo Saga Shoeless Goku or if that's fighting Raditz Shoeless Goku.
I believe that it's fighting Raditz because in the Tenkaichi games, that is one of his alternate costumes.
Well, in one of the Tenkaichi games, they also had him when he was doing the 25th Tenkaichi Budokai, because it's got the big combination attack he did on Piccolo.
Oh yeah, the meteor.
The punch to the gut, and fall upward into the sky doing the Kamehameha.
I feel like they give you that in the Raditz fight in those games because we're only 2 episodes into the show, so we don't even know what he knows outside of the classic moveset yet.
True.
Because we have yet to have like we've never gotten a teen Goku. Like it's always either chibi kid or like grown adult.
No, I count Team Goku as Piccolo versus Piccolo Round 1 Goku.
I know, but I'm saying when they put him in games, they always start that model.
Oh, yeah.
Character. That character gets started at Raditz. They never give him his, except for Kakarot, because they just did the DLC.
Interestingly, if you look at the character select screen, no Ultra Instinct or Ultra Ego selections.
That's not yet.
They're holding those off. I think
they're Game Awards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfected, Instinct, and Ego. If anything, they got to do one of those arcs. It'll either be Granola the Survivor or Moro. I think we'll get a reveal, or Daima. I'm not sure, but they're like they're trying to solidify themselves everywhere to kind of distract from that. You're not getting a show because if you want a party game, you got Breakers. If you want a fighting game, then you got Fighters. If you want an adventure game, then you got Kakarot. If you want like an arena fighter, then you got this.
Yeah, so they are trying to expand, but we'll definitely see come October 11th because I got ideas. But we did want to go ahead and go into again. This was following the week of Summer Game Fest. Microsoft and Ubisoft did have their showcases earlier, and we did have some picks. Microsoft did was probably the better showing out of all of them because Microsoft came out guns blazing. Ubisoft did have their Assassin's Creed Shadows, which they did show a little bit more of the extensive gameplay on that, but that's really all they showed. But we do got some picks for trailers. This one may actually get you back into Call of Duty. This was actually the trailer for Black Ops 6.
Good evening. The Soviet Union is no more. Despite a potential for instability and chaos, these events clearly serve our national interest. Free from the specter of global conflict.
Today we celebrate the mystery of American renewal.
Something's going on. Something big.
I'm a fire starter, terrific fire starter.
I figured if I stuck around hell long enough, I'd see the devil.
How's he look?
I'm a fire starter, terrific fire starter.
The agency is compromised. We're being hunted from the inside.
You're the fire starter, twisted fire starter.
You don't have to trust me, Marshal, but it might be better if you do.
Hey, it's something you should see.
What the hell are we getting into? Don't trust anyone.
You broke into a CIA black site. Are you out of your mind?
Things got complicated.
May God continue to bless the United States of America.
Pre-order the Vault Edition and get the Hunters vs. Hunted Operator Pack, the Mastercraft Weapon Collection, the Season 1 Black Cell Bundle, and more.
Good evening.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. Because I've sat there and said, I have been one of the perpetrators that has sat there and said, you basically been buying the same game for the last going on 20 years. No, 15, 16, but around that. I said it. Here's why I say Black Ops 6 gets my attention. They're focusing more on campaign. They're giving campaign the same attention they're giving multimedia player, which was my big issue with it because the campaigns on Call of Duty were actually very good. And then somewhere between Modern Warfare 3 and then 8, 9 to 10 games later, they just stopped doing campaign mode. They just focused on multiplayer because, again, that was the moneymaker. So now that they're actually getting back to campaigns, especially with this one, I'm invested. I want to see if it's worth it. Is it worth the pre-order? No.
They started strong with the pre-order bonuses at the end.
Right. Don't get me wrong. I do want to play Black Ops 6. Is it worth the pre-order? Nope. But understand it is gonna be a storage space killer, because I think the latest report is that you will need at least 300 gigs of space for Black Ops 6. So it is definitely gonna be a memory killer. But any thoughts on that, guys?
Has anybody looked into those like WD Black chips that go on the PS5? Because apparently I might need to invest in one soon. This 1 terabyte external might not do it for me.
Yeah, the 2 terabyte MD2. Yeah, you should.
I always see them in Walmart and never knew what they were for. And I just watched an unboxing recently, and I'm like a little nervous about opening up my brand new console. But the way these games are moving, I might need it.
Look, it's very easy. It's almost, I'm not going to say it's foolproof. It's very easy to take it apart because it's literally just 2 screws. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Joe. Is it 2 screws or 3 screws?
2 screws.
So, yeah, 2 screws to pop it off, and then you're basically looking at the slot.
Okay.
I mean, I have 45 games on my PlayStation 5 right now with the 2 terabyte in there.
So, yeah.
Because I got the external just moved over from the PS4, but seeing how big that game is going to be if I do pick it up, and between what Sparking will look like after all the updates come out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was just my thing, was the storage killer. Also, was Cold War technically Black Ops 5, or was Black Ops 5?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Cold War is basically Black Ops 5.
And then was that Woods or one of the OG guys in the wheelchair?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so before the old man stories of Black Ops 2. And then did Black Ops 3 even have a story, or was it just online only?
All multiplayer. So this is where I get annoyed. Cold War had a campaign. Black Ops had a campaign. I mean, Black Ops 6 has a campaign. So all you're doing is going from Cold War to Black Ops 6, which I'm not knocking it. At least you got a continuum of the story. But again, campaign mode. That's all I ask. Sometimes I don't want to play online and get beat by guys who use aimbot and all that other crap. Sometimes I just want to enjoy the story.
I feel like Black Ops 1 and 2 had a good story.
Mm-hmm.
But it feels like they peaked in that era, because after MW2 and 3, it feels like they peaked with the Makarov story, and now we're recycling that again.
It just goes to show you that they're running out of ideas.
And then you went to Black Ops 1 and 2, which are great, and 3, which actually I think you had to have like an upgraded console to get what little campaign they did give you, and no one played it.
Keyword little. Like God of War Valhalla was longer. That's saying a lot. But Joe, any thoughts on Black Ops 6?
Is this the one that's going to have Gundam?
No. That's Warzone. But that'd be Warzone, but no.
Could have been Advanced Warfare.
Yeah. I think Advanced Warfare is the one that's going to have Gundam in it, if I'm right. I think. But again, that's not the only trailer that they did show that did interest us. This one we got to talk about, because Doom: The Dark Ages. I'm not mad about this, but at the same time, before I play, I'm gonna go ahead and play the trailer. But I got questions.
I got one thing to say before the trailer.
What's that?
Rhaegar with a gun.
Yeah, pretty much. Now, I'm not gonna lie, why not? That was guys for Doom the Dark Ages. Will be coming out next year. I'm sold. Only because he's got a chainsaw shield and looks like a ball and chain weapon that he has as well. So
yeah, like a swinging mace.
Yeah, so I'm sold. I really am. But guys, what about you?
How old is Doom guy? Like,
he's gotta be centuries old at this point.
I never knew like the lore of Doom, and I'm like, if I didn't know he's been around this long, because we're in the medieval time, but we still have spaceships to launch people out of, and all this other stuff.
Yeah, crazy, ain't it? That he does, during the medieval times supposedly, but he still got his super shotgun. It still lasts the test of time. But I got no words. I'm definitely playing that when that comes out. Joe, any words on Doom?
I mean, I'll definitely give it a shot once it's on discount, like Eternal and everything else. Probably not going to grab it like right out the gate, but it looks fun. Interesting premise, good soundtrack. It's the Dark Ages. Why are there chainsaws and shotguns? But whatever.
I'm like in kaijus and spaceships.
Again, it's Doom. If you ask questions, don't just enjoy it. It's chaos.
And what is the story of Doom? They like opened a portal to hell or some crazy shit, right?
Yeah, always open your portal to hell.
Open your portal to hell on the moon of Phobos.
Yeah.
So that has just been going on forever then, or
yeah, just pretty much it's pretty much scientists basically playing around with portals and summoning demons for hell energy, for what they call it, infernal energy or something like that. Basically using hell as an energy source. But again, not surprising. I still want to play it when it comes out. The next trailer we got, guys, Dragon Age: The Veilguard. Thanks, Joe, for telling me this because I was wondering what happened to Dreadwolf. This is what happened to Dreadwolf. That EA basically took Dreadwolf and made it into this. And here's the trailer for it.
Not looking good, old friend. This'll take more than you and me.
What are you thinking?
We need someone to be our eyes and ears in the shadows.
And someone to bring a little darkness to the daylight.
We're going into the Fade, aren't we?
And digging up a lot of buried secrets.
What about Darkspawn?
Yeah. Someone who will stand between us and a pack of demons.
You know there will be dragons.
Right. We'll need someone with fire in their blood. One more thing. This crew needs a leader. Someone we can count on. Someone that the world can count on. But where are we gonna find her?
So that was basically the trailer for Dragon Age of Veilguard. And again, wait, what did Final Max say? The trailer confuses me. It's supposed to be a game or an Amazon Prime series.
I know nothing about Dragon Age, so y'all two have the floor on this one.
No, I get it. No, I get what Mr. Final Max is saying because he knows what it is. It's just the tone, which I get exactly what he's saying. I'm just hoping it gets made because this time last year we were supposed to be getting Dreadwolf. Dreadwolf had a trailer, and yet we're still, I didn't know what happened to Dreadwolf until Joe said something about it. And apparently they abandoned Dreadwolf and decided to go into Veilguard. So it looks great. Would love to play it. I just hope it gets made. That's the best way I can say it because I was looking forward to Dreadwolf. And Dreadwolf just got scrapped. So there's that.
Dreadwolf was supposed to be like the next Dragon Age game?
Yeah, Dreadwolf was supposed to be the next Dragon Age game. And then somewhere between here and the Veilguard, it got 86. So we shall see on that. But I did want to get to this trailer because, again, Microsoft almost lost me as a fan until I saw this. And when I tell you I almost screamed like a little girl, I almost screamed like a little girl. I'm not ashamed to say it. We're finally getting a Gears of War, and they're finally going to tell the story of E-Day. This is the trailer for Gears of War E-Day. All I can sit there and say is when I saw this, I'm like, Microsoft, you have restored my faith. You have restored my faith in thinking that you did not give up on Gears of War. So, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so where is Judgment at then? Because I thought Judgment, I never played it. I thought that was the one that, I know it's before the first one, but is that post E-Day then?
Yeah, it's post E-Day. So, to give an idea, so to give the timeline, so Gears of War Judgment happens before Gears of War. So it's right after E-Day, but it's before Gears of War because Baird and Cole are already out in the field. Marcus is in prison at this point. So that's where the whole thing of the Pendulum Wars, E-Day, that's going to tell that part of the story. So E-Day is basically after the Pendulum Wars. So the COG, the IDR, pretty much World War IV was going on. They had signed the peace accords to where everything was fine. And then you have the emergence of the Locust. That's what E-Day is about. And it tells that story of a younger Marcus Phoenix, a younger Dom, and just going from there as far as what led to initially Gears of War 1. So that's what this story is going to tell, which I am freaking looking forward to it. Now, don't get me wrong. Does this mean that we're not going to get a Gears 6? I think we are going to get a Gears 6. That story involving the Locust Queen and her granddaughter, and of course, if you play Gears 5, there's that weird who do you save sequence at the end. Do you save JD or do you save his best friend? Does it carry on? That whole thing's going to be a whole nother mess in itself. But with E-Day is like a clean slate. You can tell the original story of post-Pendulum Wars and Marcus's first outing, basically fighting the Locust. So I'm hyped. I can't say anything else beyond that. But anything you guys want to add to it?
I haven't played a Gears in a minute, but if this one's going to be a prequel, this might be one I jump back. I need to finish 3, but I might jump back in here. Joe, I don't know if you play Gears at all or if this is your forte.
Oh, no, I used to play it back, way back when Xbox 360s worked on a constant basis and didn't die almost immediately. I mean, I enjoyed it. I think it's brave of them to do a prequel, but, I mean, really, people just want Marcus and Dom more than anything, which is why I think the last Gears of War prequel did not do well, because who really does want to play as Baird? It's like playing. It's like turning on The Simpsons and listening only to Mo.
No, I mean Gears 5. I disagree. Gears 5.
Here's the other thing. Notice it's no longer Gears and a number. It's back to Gears of War.
Yeah, because Gears 5 they try to follow Halo. I'm just gonna be honest. They try to follow Halo. Did not work as well. I just think that Gears 5 was short. I will say it was shorter than what we're used to, because 4, 3, 2, and 1 were all very lengthy games. But I'm hoping, like I said, hopefully E-Day is going to bring a lot of people back to it, just because you are right. Marcus and Dom are the more popular characters. I like the full squad, honestly, but
the full squad's fine. It's like I said, it's a Simpsons thing. You have your Homer, Carl, Lenny, and Mo. But you don't want to play a game with just Mo.
Although there was that episode with Mo, though, now that I think about it. But either way, we don't have a release date on E-Day as of yet, so we're definitely going to keep up with that. We do have some gameplay reveals with 2 of them. I do want to start with Star Wars Outlaws first, because, again, it was a questionable one until this was shown at the showcase. And, guys, I want to know your opinions on this after we play the trailer. If it wants to work with us. There we go.
Welcome to the first ever open world Star Wars game. Set in the dangerous golden age of the underworld.
Let's raise the stakes, shall we?
Okay.
You play as Kay Vess, a scoundrel looking to start a new life. Kay gets pulled into a plan that will change everything.
I believe if you follow the plan, no one gets hurt.
Fortunately, she won't do it alone. From childhood, Kay and Nix have been inseparable partners,
You're welcome.
helping each other every step of the way.
All right, distract him, Nix.
Using their criminal skills and tools. Kay and Nix will have to constantly adapt to every scenario.
Nix, you want to drop that for me? Come on. Whoa.
If you don't want me to sound the alarm, you'll get me out of here.
As your versatility grows, gain access to new skills and more lucrative contracts.
There she is.
A friend needs a little something stolen.
And in this world, your actions have consequences.
I can't let you walk out of here. I'm gonna finish it. Shame.
And reputation is everything.
Where is he?
The bigger the risk, the bigger the reward, and more attention you'll receive from some of the most notorious syndicates of the galaxy.
And how did you think it was going to end?
Tell the governor the payments will not increase.
It's up to you where your loyalties lie.
Hey, Nick!
Being wanted by the Empire brings a new set of challenges.
This is getting bad. Hold tight!
So as your exploits grow, beware of who you cross.
Hang on!
Scattered across the stars are unique locations, rich biomes, environments, and adventures to discover. Traverse the lush jungle world of Akiva, the ancient city of Kijimi, the dangerous savannah moon of Tashara, or roam the lawless planet of Tatooine. When it's time to move, pilot K's Trailblazer to transition from planet to planet.
MD, fire up the hyperdrive.
Ready to jump. Once you land, you can explore all these worlds on K's S-57 Cardinal Speeder. This is the life of an outlaw. A life where you fight, explore, and infiltrate parts of the galaxy you never thought possible. There are opportunities at every turn, and if you're willing to take the risk and defy the odds, the galaxy is yours for the taking.
You know what? I dig it. So
I like it, but I still feel like how people receive this, or if they pre-order it at all, completely dependent on Ubisoft's reputation, which is still
definitely 50-50.
Yeah.
And sometimes I am 50-50. But yes, you do see the pre-order, guys. It's available August 30th. You do see that they get if you pre-order, you get 3 days early access. You get the Kessler bonus pack. To be honest, I did like the gameplay. I did like it. What did Kira say? Arkham City World with Telltale Consequences set in Star Wars. Sign me up. Yeah, really.
As long as it doesn't crash and take 1,000 assets to load every time we go into an area. That's my biggest concern.
Yeah, we don't need another Cyberpunk 2077 to happen. But I mean, all in all, I do like the fact that it is based on reputation. It is giving you gameplay. It is giving you choices. Those choices do affect your world as you see fit. I mean, it's exactly what you want in a Star Wars game. I'm sold. But Joe, you saw a little bit of Star Wars Outlaws. What did you think of the gameplay trailer?
Kind of reminds me of this weird hodgepodge of a game that I got to play called Rebel Galaxy, mixed with Arkham and Uncharted.
Yeah, I got
the
that.
First time we literally get to jump planet to planet, literally get on a ship, leave a planet, go to another planet.
Yeah,
which does look very interesting, but
wasn't the Old Republic online an open world game though?
Knights of the Old Republic?
Not Knights. There's a online game I think is still going.
The Old Republic and MMO. Not to the degree that this one is. You would load into an instance to travel or to leave the planet. You would load into an event, or it would be directing you there. It wasn't like True Open World. It's like Monster Hunter, where it's really big zones.
Okay.
Yeah. But it does look interesting. So like I said, I'm with Kira. I wouldn't pre-order it, but I still want to give it a shot. But another thing I forgot to bring up was that there was another reveal that did happen with Microsoft, which I'm very surprised about, that has controversy as well, because we asked for a Perfect Dark and we got one.
But is it perfect enough?
Your target is in possession of a radioactive device. Stop Carrington's attack at all costs. Good luck, Agent.
I always knew I had an instinct. I could see the world differently. I thought it would be like any other mission. I was wrong.
Welcome to Garden City, where it's a pleasant 23 degrees all day, every day.
How far to his last known location?
Local forces are also tracking his whereabouts. You need to find him before they do.
I'll have to improvise.
Generating voice print.
ارسل واحدا آخر.
اختبر البوابة بحذر.
What readings are you getting?
We are getting odd readings from your monitor. Can you confirm?
I'm looking at the screen right now.
Our intel places Carrington on the second floor.
And the life we think we know turns out to be a lie. There's only one way forward. Find the truth. Scan's clear. I'm going in blind.
Carrington! Damn it!
Analyze. What am I looking at here?
Carrington appears to be targeting a research facility. If he attacks it, the casualties could be astronomical.
Agent Stark, it's a pleasure to meet you. I could use someone with your skills.
I had to lose everything before I could see. What this world was really hiding.
I hope you're ready, Agent Dark.
Are you all seeing this?
Once you open this door, there's no going back.
Okay, so that, guys, was a trailer for Perfect Dark. If that's what they're rebooting with it, I'm good with that. What did Kira say? Is this Edge Runner with more steps? Kind of feels like Edge Runner a little bit.
I haven't played a Perfect Dark in so long. Y'all can tell me what's right or wrong with it, because I could not tell you.
I mean, everything was right to it to me. What did Mr. Final Max say? Crystal Dynamics seems addicted to bad hair songing characters, and I don't know, pull off the Mirror's Edge free running.
That's kind of what I thought of when I saw the parkour.
I think they can. I'm going to be honest about that. I just like the fact they're giving it a shot, because Perfect Dark to me was always the underrated shooter on N64. So now they're actually going to be allowed to do that. I'm assuming on Xbox. I'm all for it. But Joe, any thoughts on that?
I mean, I remember playing this on Xbox. The only thing I just don't see is, like, where's Elvis, the gray alien? But that's really about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, looks fine. I'm not going to complain about it. I wonder, I do know IDOS Montreal is helping out with this.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if this is going to be kind of like, what's the name of that one Cyberpunk game they did? Not
Deus
Cyberpunk 2077.
Deus Ex.
Deus Ex.
Oh,
This
Deus Ex.
looks a little bit like Deus Ex.
Yeah.
Where it does kind of Perfect Dark, but other than that, I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, but unfortunately, and yeah, Mr. Fomax is the same thing I said. So we're going to see what happens with that. So the last show that we do got, guys, another gameplay trailer for South of Midnight, because this was one of the games that I thought would be pretty interesting because it's a little bit different. Initially it was by Rare, Vaughn. Perfect Dark was done by Rare, but now it's being done by Crystal Dynamics. But anyway, the last show that we do got, guys, from the Xbox reveal, because again, Ubisoft only covered Assassin's Creed Shadows. We've already sat there and said that we're interested in playing that game anyway. But here's the gameplay trailer for South of Midnight. If you ever wanted to play The Princess and the Frog, but just do it in a Sam Raimi type of way, you'll probably like this game.
Do you think there's a chance my mom's still alive?
If your mom's anything like you have, she'll keep fighting till we find her.
I hope so. It's just hard to believe this is all really happening.
You mean to tell me your mama never told you stories about critters and weavers? Oh, you're lucky I come along.
What?
Shh. Oh, that's two-toed Tom. Big gator. I gotta drop you off fast.
After I got you out of that tree, you said you helped me find my mom.
I ain't of a disposition to be gator snacks.
Well, me neither.
We're gonna go on. We gotta get rid of him.
I'm all ears.
There's a church up a ways with a big bell. Go on and ring it.
You want to make him come running?
Tom can't abide the sound of bell. Some church folks once tried to dynamite him, and he didn't take that too kind. If you ring that bell, he might skedaddle.
You better not skedaddle.
Go on now, scoot. I'll pick you up yonder after to go find your mom.
Trifling ass mudcat.
Hey, I heard that.
Gotta move quickly now. Wait, that floating island is the gator? Oh, hell no. All right, time to find that church. There it is. Now to get over there. What the hell?
Hurry up! John!
A boat and a church are just meals for Tom.
So that was a little bit of the gameplay trailer for South of Midnight. As you can see, guys, coming next year to Xbox Game Pass and Xbox Series X. It will be playable on day one. What did Miss Final Max say? The catfish escaped from the reservoir. Volunteers be into it. Shut up and take my money. And where is her auntie? I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I've been hooked on this ever since I saw it about a year ago. So I'm definitely down for it. But what do you guys think?
It was definitely starting to sound a little Song of the Southish there at first, but it got a little better towards the end. It went from what is the ride they just got rid of? It went a little bit from Thunder Mountain to Tiana's Bayou towards the end.
No, we have a new name for it. Now it's Princess Logs.
Yeah, Princess Logs.
Is that really the name of it now?
No. It's still
That's
Tiana's Bayou Ride, but now we're just calling it Princess Logs.
Yeah. So it's definitely. I mean,
Oh,
the
really?
music does.
That
The
catfish
music.
sound like the first draft script from the Princess Frog. Like I was sitting there listening to. It's like you were what it originally was, and then you became the Firefly.
No, that right there. Beyond good and evil to buy you. That's it.
It's kind of like Meet the Haitians and Mafia 3, and some of them are very heavy into the like voodoo stuff, and it feels like this is a Lincoln Clay fever dream. Also, I can't tell if it's just the frames aren't done, but the animation style.
So that's my one issue on this is some of the characters move at that Spider-Verse frame rate.
Yeah,
but some of it doesn't.
It looks like a
this
mix
is one of the things where it needs to be like all or nothing.
It looks like a mix between Coraline and like Arcane. And yeah, like I get that too. Like they can't figure out which way they want to lean in certain scenes.
Yeah.
Also, this is why you don't flush your pets down the toilet.
Very much. But again, it looks like it's going to be fun. So guys, I got to ask a question because we know we did show a little bit. Microsoft did actually show well over 25 different games. We only did pick up a handful. But between Ubisoft, Microsoft, and Summer of Games, I got to ask you guys, who won?
Microsoft, because I definitely had no expectations for them whatsoever. But they came back with some wins, some heavy hitters this time. Usually we're just used to looking forward to new controllers and new console specs, which they did give us some. I don't know if anybody's gonna pick those up. Is the new Xbox Series whatever is supposed to be like beefier or stronger, fast? What is
until 2027, I think.
Yeah, pretty much.
The ones that they showed aren't until 2027.
Pretty much.
Why even?
Pretty much because they want to sit there and say because they're trying to sit there and get their names out there for the next consoles due. Because we're still waiting for Nintendo in their fiscal quarter to announce the next Switch, so that's why. I'm the same way. Microsoft won Summer of Games Fest. I understand it. You know, it was mocked with COVID. It was mocked with studios being purchased. It was just, I mean, it was for it was, but Microsoft just came with the hits.
So are people gonna abandon Helldivers for Starship Troopers or
no? That game, the one thing I will say about this, and we talked about this on Blurred's Eye View, about independent studios, because a lot of studios are being purchased by the big three, and we just talked about Rocksteady being closed down and Arcane being closed down. The way these independent studios are surviving is basically off games like Helldivers. If you make a game like Helldivers 2 and it's fun and it's playable and you stick to it, I mean, you survive. You have to worry about getting picked up by the big three. No Aisha Tyler jokes. Well, I mean, it's not E3, but you're right. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just the fact of as long as they do what Helldivers 2 has done, I see a lot of independent studios thriving without the big three. But that's just me. But
I kept seeing the reply because they were fighting for their life in the replies about being a fake Helldivers and this is a Helldivers clone. And then you have people who are like, you guys know Starship Troopers came out like first, right? Like this is without this, you don't have Helldivers, and you can play 2 games where you shoot bugs. It's not a contest. So some people were so anal about it. And I guess the guy in the trailer is someone from the movie or the first. I don't know the lore of the whole thing, but
yeah, but no, that's really all what it is. But to keep it going, guys, again, just some quick news before we get to our quick impressions of The Acolyte and The Boys. If you have a PlayStation, like I do, because I got a PS5 for Father's Day, so I'm not complaining. I just can't wait to hook the thing up and really be able to join Joe on Monster Hunter and go from there. But anyway, PlayStation Plus games, they're out for June. Really want to cover this very quickly, which will be available very soon. June 18th is what I meant to say. For PlayStation Plus Extra Premium, you can get Monster Hunter Rise, Football Manager Console 2024, Crusader Kings 3, Monster Energy Supercross, After Us, Anno 1800, Police Simulator, Patrol Officers, Far Cry 4, fun game, Lego The Hobbit, also a fun game, Lego The Incredibles, which is PS4 version, also a great game. On PlayStation Premium, you can get the Kayak VR Mirage, you can get Lego Star Wars 2, the original trilogy, Ghost Hunter, Daxter. Wow. Daxter?
Yeah, they're putting some of the PSP libraries.
I just not noticed that, but as you can see, guys, that's the tiers for the 18th. So again, enjoy them as you will. But yeah, outside
got what another one I just Streets of Rage 4 because I never played it when it came out, but if you're on the free plan like I am, you can pick up that. And then they just re-released the first Sly Cooper to the store. So if you have premium, you get it free. Otherwise, I just bought it for $10. It's also a very easy platinum, so probably what I'm going to be doing tomorrow night. But I'm also realizing games with gold is now a luxury item. I didn't realize that like officially died a year ago. Because so now every time people were like, you should get the game, it's like it'll come back again. It's like now that's just no longer. Now you get a rental. You get a Blockbuster rental for like $15 a month, and that's it.
Although I will sit there and say, Streets of Rage 4 was very fun. It was the beginning of the retcon games that are coming back, but it was so much fun playing. I kind of had flashbacks, but still. Again, guys, those are the PlayStation exclusives that are coming out very soon, 4 days from now, so definitely enjoy. Also, really quickly, so excuse me, guys. We do know that that's not what I want to do. There we go. So we do know that a Blue Beetle animated series is happening. Warner Bros. Discovery did confirm through Deadline that director Miguel Puga has been working on the project since early this year, and he will be serving as a showrunner. So we do know from Blue Beetle, which again, if you haven't seen the DC movie, very well done for a DC movie. I'm kind of hoping they still stick with that. But again, an animated series that is actually happening in James Gunn's DC universe. Are we excited? Are we happy? Do we think that it's going to tank?
I think it'll be good because Blue Beetle. The only reason Blue Beetle didn't get the praise it deserved was because the people involved couldn't talk about it. That's the only thing. Everybody I know who went to see it, we all liked it. Everybody was a fan of Blue Beetle. It was a nice hard reset button. It just didn't get the promo run it deserved. And if this is just going to be a continuation of the movie, we've already got a strong basis because Ninja Turtles are doing the same thing because they're doing a cartoon on Mutant Mayhem between this and the movie.
Yeah. So that's going to be
good.
Joe, how about you?
The problem with Blue Beetle, the movie, is because they were not clear if that was going to be with the old guard or the new guard. So people just like, if this is not part of the James Gunn universe, I'm not seeing it because we never got like a clear definitive. Well, he was there, but this movie is part of the old DC universe, but he's going to be in the Gunn universe moving forward. And that like really turned a lot of people off. It's like, well, there's no point in the movie. He's not going to be part of the Gunn universe.
Right.
Which has directly hindered the sales. But I think this is going to be great.
Yeah, I agree. But as far as quick news, like I said before, that's really it outside of impressions. I'm going to start with The Acolyte because I know a friend of ours, Room Full of Blurs, Kira, who I leaned on heavily because she knows more about Star Wars lore than I do. So again, guys, if you've seen The Acolyte, we're not going to give any spoilers away. Just really your impressions on what did you think of it?
So these women are or are not the prehistoric versions of the Night Sisters and Ventresses people?
Yeah, they're pretty much Dathomir witches.
Okay, because that was my only thing. I feel like going back 100 years and still being in the same spot that we met you in, I feel like I'm hoping that, or it feels like I wish y'all would tell me, like I get it, the Jedi power has the Force, but what did y'all do to get their attention for this long? I'm not asking for a whole episode, just like a page of a sacred text, something.
So many people.
No, go ahead, Joe. Go ahead.
So many people right now are so upset with this episode that just came out.
They are. I'm like, if you're upset with the plot, because it's like, hey, we didn't get a lot of questions answered, like me. That's one thing, but they're just raging like before the opening credits.
Episode 3. I don't think I need to see any more of Acolyte because I think I've deciphered like how the whole series is going to run out. But people are so upset because the twins are apparently immaculately conceived through Force magic, which they perceive as a direct threat to Anakin Skywalker being the chosen one because he was immaculately conceived through the Force. There's 2 of them, as opposed to Anakin goes like, I'm a good guy, I'm a bad guy, to where it's the twins, where one's clearly the good one and one's clearly the bad one. Just like, to me, I don't have an issue with it. I don't mind the series. It's pretty good. I've told people this is easy to watch because it's in a different era. You don't have the baggage of any of the movies or TV shows or books. You don't have to know anything beforehand. All these characters are new. I think the only person.
Okay.
Not all Night Sisters. Not all Night Sisters are witches, but all witches are Night Sisters. It's weird. Or all Night Sisters are witches, but not all witches are Night Sisters. It's a weird thing.
Yeah, because they're just like, oh, this coven. I'm just like, is this a completely different clan of witches who happen to know the same magic? Or is this...
The moment May force choked the hummingbird, and then the Tarkatan woman comes in, it's like, this is a Sith village. That's why the Jedi did what they supposedly did, which then gets later on revealed in that episode. I'm not going to spoil the episode.
Shout out to Hellspawn Cosplay, because his takes on the Jedi and the Acolyte are funny as hell. But I'm sorry, go ahead, Joe. I
know exactly what went down. I know exactly who this Maze Master is by this point. Unless they swing left hard, I know what the plot. I know the remainder of the plot of this is.
Gotcha. I'm like I said, this is new territory for me because my knowledge on Star Wars, unfortunately, is not that extensive.
Which is why this is good for you.
Yeah, I'm watching this like a brand new newbie. So thankfully, I have like you and Kira to kind of lean on to when I need to ask questions. So I'm digging it just because it all as a fan of the dark side, this just confirms everything I knew about the Jedi. But for the last 3 episodes, definitely got my attention. That twin is basically Itachi. So I'm just gonna leave it at that for how I'm gonna put that in the episode.
Her getting the moon power and the other one didn't. Do you think that influenced her crazy at all? Or
I think it did.
Yeah, she was evil to begin with. You just don't choke a hummingbird for no reason.
Yeah, it is true.
And I feel like we kind of did this in Clone Wars when they went to wherever that weird planet was, where they were like trapped inside of it for a while. And
don't bring that up again. That gives me flashbacks to the final audiobook series that dealt with all that stuff, where it's like they found the mom for the Force trio, and then she's like some sort of bizarre Force witch, and then Ben was getting ready to marry like a Sith Night Sister later on down the road. Kira probably knows exactly what I'm talking about. It's literally the final audiobook before Disney audiobook series before Disney took over. Like, it's the last thing they did.
Okay.
Yeah, I just remember they were just like, he brought, like, it's like, you were right. You're the character who's going to bring balance. I'm like, because everyone's dead. That's
right.
He technically murdered both sides, so no one really won, if you want to call it balance. And then we get the volcano smoke predicting Darth Vader, but his memory gets wiped, so they don't remember it happening.
Right.
I'm curious if we see 800-year-old Yoda pop up at all.
Confused you are.
This is true. Yoda around.
But anyway, it was.
Yeah, so Yoda would technically be around right now.
Like 790 or 810 years old or something.
Yeah, give or take. So it'll be interesting either way. But does it still make you guys still want to watch?
Yeah, because now episode 3 is just turned into a big whodunit, and I feel like we're gonna get this same episode.
The whodunit's so obvious, though. It really is.
It feels like that. It feels like a lot happened very quickly. We went from room full of people dropping on a bridge, other things, people unaccounted for. I also feel like whatever happens, this show is the reason why we've never seen another Wookiee Jedi up until this point.
Oh my God, I laughed so hard at that where he's got the robes on. It's like, you're just a dude wearing a Wookiee mask at this point.
Also, guys, we do thank you for watching on IG. I apologize. I'm kind of hopping back and forth to see comments there. If you joined us on the YouTube side, we'll be able to see your comments a little bit better. So again, I apologize if my eyes are kind of doing a iguana thing. I'm just trying to make sure I got everybody.
Kira, it is so bad, Kira. Like, it literally just looks like a generic dude in Jedi robes with a normal Chewbacca mask over his, like a $high Chewbacca mask over his face. Like, there is no like bulging or like huge puffs like coming out of the robes. It just looks like a generic dude in robes with a Wookiee mask over his face half the time.
Nice.
I mean, if he doesn't make it out of this series, I think they're on Kashyyyk. I would very much like to see him at least move like a Wookiee with a lightsaber. Like, don't make it easy. Like, be bouncing from trees to trees. And
they've already screwed Kashyyyk up. Remember, like in the old days, Wookiees could not go to the bottom of forest floor of Kashyyyk. That's where all their natural predators were. That's why they were a treetop race.
That is true. But
I mean, is that throughout history or is that recent Clone
That was
Wars?
up until Disney took them over. Like, it was a big thing in the Young Jedi Knight things where Chewie's nephew, like, had to go down to the forest to prove he's an adult.
Yeah.
And that's where he got the wood to make his lightsaber from.
Was that the weird Knights book with Lobaka, I think his name was?
Yes, that's it. The one where he's got like the little tiny translator droid.
I didn't know about the droid. I just remember seeing a Wookiee on the cover of the book with like looks like he's turning to the dark side and
yeah, Globaka, that's his name.
Yeah, I know the Lobaka books, but even in the
wait.
He never turned.
Time out. Oh, damn. Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
my attention.
Like the cover.
I'm talking about the audio book. No, we don't need to talk about Abeloth anymore. Let her go away.
Good Lord, you almost have my attention.
I need to see him move like a Wookiee with a lightsaber one time. Like, don't just give me some weird ground battle stance and then it's over. Like, or no weird hypotheticals because we're just willingly drinking stuff now after. So you heard everybody who was talking to you for 10 years and ignoring them willingly. That's what I got out of that scene.
Nice. Well, aside from the Acolyte guys, I know Tafari, you and I, we are definitely fans of Amazon Prime, The Boys. Really quickly, what did you think of the first 3 episodes so far?
Did we just run out? I know we're deviating from the source material, but did we just run out of stuff to do with Frenchie? Because whose man's is this, and why should I care?
Frenchie going through it.
Frenchie's always going through it because his ghosts come back to haunt him. What I hope we're not doing a Jessica Jones season 3 where everyone's biggest enemy is their own bad decisions. Because even him and Kimiko, like I'm scrolling through last season, like, what did I miss? Where she's like, "We're never happening," and I'm like, "What? What happened? What did I miss here?"
Right.
Y'all been having y'all learned a whole sign language together, and if this was power of friendship, this whole show is fine. But y'all did not sell me that.
I think they are taking a little bit of liberties with Frenchie and Kimiko, but not to an extreme. I will say that because I've read the graphic novel, so I'm like, it's not that far off. But the whole thing with Butcher, though, I'm like, yeah, they're trying to tell that story, which again, I'm not against it, but it's also, guys. Again, I know I have to say this. I have to say this for reasons. Please don't let your children watch The Boys.
No.
The Boys is not the superhero show you think it is, and it's also done by Eric Kripke, who also did Supernatural. Again, I can't stress this enough because I've seen the parents make that mistake and let them watch The Boys, and they regretted it after the first 10 minutes. So again,
not gonna lie, I didn't catch it the first time. Did you realize that when Butcher tried to off that chick, the bullet ricocheted in the van?
Yeah, and she just looked at him. And Papa looked at him like
that was the crazy part to me. Like, bullet to the head, what was it? A thermos full of acid, and she's just like, really, people, like, come on, I have to be on TV. Like, you ruined my dress. And I'm like, you could have easily murdered everyone here, but for the sake of whatever plot, we're just not going to.
Oh yeah, she was thoroughly annoyed, but she's like, you guys can't harm me, so
I keep forgetting that her. I also keep forgetting that her and Huey, I guess, were friends at some point early in the show.
Yeah, she sees Huey as family because, well, she doesn't have any, and her daughter. Well, I'm gonna leave that one alone because that just gave me Abigail vibes. Because if you haven't seen the movie Abigail, check out Geek by Heart because they give a wonderful review on Abigail if you haven't already seen it.
Also, I guess instead of doing MM dirty this season, it's just going to be the team. The sacrifice is the team doing him dirty because everyone just disobeys his orders or gives him the middle finger. Like, and then shout out to your boy Roshi. He had the funniest tweet. I don't know if anyone else noticed, but Mother's Milk lost a bunch of weight. You got to call him Almond Milk now. Bro slimmed up and is rocking the mustache like Eddie Murphy.
You ain't lying. He actually has he's toned up a little bit, so I guess you have to call him Almond Milk now. Damn.
But yeah, no. I like that. If he's gonna be in charge, that's fine. But I don't want to be just, the boys fell apart because after 4 seasons, everyone just fell into bad habits. Like, person's rehabbing. Kimiko is getting drunk for whatever reason.
Oh, she discovered beer. So once. So go ahead, Joe.
Have they done the reveal about the actual identity of what's his name?
No, they have not yet. No, I know what you're talking about, and no, they have not. It's been high. I mean, they haven't came to that conclusion yet because they haven't got to that certain part to where old boy leaks it, and they haven't got there yet. But I know what you're talking. I know what super you're talking about though, but no, they haven't got to him yet.
Also, finding out that some of this stuff is set up as far as the saves, I feel like that should have been season 1 material. Like, I'm not mad at it in how we got it because of Ryan, but I feel like that should have been like info we got early because we've seen them stop actual criminals with.
Yeah, but at the same time, I said this is the reason why I give Kripke and his team credit because how they've written the story and how they've related it to real life events. That is what made it work.
Oh, the full Starlighters versus the MAGA camp, and Homelander is innocent on trial, and
and what's so funny about it is that some people, not to go off tangent, but people who have watched The Boys, and again, if you're a fan of the 4-letter people, got offended. Because they're like, you're making fun of us. And Kripke said, again, the writer and showrunner for The Boys, sat there and said, if you don't like what you're watching, change the channel. I'm not changing spit. So I had to give him credit for that. But yeah, it's written off the rails in such a way now that, it's sad that the additional news that we do have behind The Boys is that season 5 is going to be it. So season 5 is going to be the final season for The Boys.
And how many episodes do we have this season?
10? I think
if it's 10, that's fine. If it's 8, I'm a little sad because we just got almost half of it at once.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I like that we're at least getting shows that have a end goal in sight and not just planning to run forever.
Yeah. Well, that's always been Kripke, though. Kripke's always been a 5-season guy, except for Supernatural, but that was the CW's decision.
I also feel like you can only play Homelander so long before it gets to you.
Before you get typecasted.
That too.
Don't be wrong. Anthony Starr, phenomenal actor. You brought Homelander to a screen in such a way that I didn't think was possible. But yeah, you don't want to get typecasted. But don't believe me? Ask Neil McDonald. But yeah, so far it's a good 3 episodes. And also let us know in the comments what you think about The Boys so far. Keep spoilers to a minimum, just because again, we try to give everybody at least a couple of days after it comes out to watch it, and then we'll come back and discuss it. But that's really all the news that we have before we go on to our comic pools. But before we do that, we always want to show love to Rick's Comic City here in Nashville. Nashville's #1 place for comic books, for mangas, for collectors. Pretty much everything pop culture you can definitely find there at Rick's Comic City. 2 locations, Nashville and Clarksville, Tennessee. And of course, their website at rickscomiccity.com. Definitely check them out. If you are in the Middle Tennessee area. If you are not in the Middle Tennessee area, guys, please support your local comic book stores, support your local libraries. They are the last places to where you can get comics. Yes, getting things online or reading things online or going to a place at Starbucks is usually fun, but going to a comic book store is an experience. Going to a place to where, especially a small comic book store, is an experience. You'll never know what you find there. You can make a lot of friends. And again, it's something that you just simply cannot repeat. But with that being said, guys, also, to all kids, read the banned books. Enough said. I have said it. I mean, me and Joe and Safari have said it enough times on the show. Wherever there's a banned books list, read it. You'll be better for it. Trust me. But again, support your local comic stores, support your local libraries. What do you say, Kira? Once I get through my Bridgerton, I will dive into The Boys. Yep. Go ahead and enjoy your Downtown Abbey, madam. But Joe, I seem to see you're up, sir. So whenever you're ready.
One thing before you hop into comics. Definitely go to Disney Plus, watch the new Doctor Who. We are on the season finale. Ncuti Gatwa and Millie Gibson have been killing it. This is the most fun I've had with Doctor Who in a long time. And they try to answer one of the longest running questions all of Doctor Who, and ever since he regenerated into the second Doctor this season. And then other things have happened.
I'm definitely going to go back and watch that from the beginning and give it its due diligence. But go ahead, Joe.
Oh, no, I was just saying, it's been an amazing season. Definitely do it. Ncuti Gatwa is probably my number 2 Doctor now, behind David Tennant.
He's up Matt Smith?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Just watch him. You'll agree.
I'm going to keep that in mind.
Alrighty, so for comics, we got a bunch. So we're going to be shotgunning a good chunk of these. My Adventures with Superman. This is a new series, obviously, as the cover says, set between seasons 1 and 2. This is written by Josie Campbell with art by Pablo M. Collier and colors by Nick Filidari. We just get to see Clark doing Superman stuff. Joe, what do you think about folks calling this season meandering? They're idiots, and they should be stricken from the record.
There for House of the Dragon.
Yeah.
So, Superman, My Adventures with Superman. This was a good book. Introduces possibly a new character, possibly a returning character, or someone augmented. I had no problems with this book. I think it's still retains the brevity and spirit and the mystery that My Adventure with Superman comes, which, by the way, this season 2 episode where they introduce Kara, and she just straight up is Android 18.
Thank you. The full on Android.
Even the pendant.
Mm-hmm.
Even the brooch on the left side, on the right side, is like, why is she Android 18? I'm not going to argue with that.
I fully agree.
If there's a show I have to beg people to watch, and please don't let it fail, it is My Adventures with Superman, because it takes such liberties with this. This is the first time I've seen a Superman story where the Kryptonians were like, yeah, we did that to ourselves. We fully deserved everything we got. And the finding out the Kryptonians were basically damn near Viltrumites. And I don't know if it was Brainiac's people or they made Brainiac, and then to see Kryptonite used as almost like a techno-organic virus rather than just they're taking so many liberties with it. And this show, I feel like, could be the start of a new DCAU unintentionally, the way the original Superman cartoon was.
Even their detractors, I don't understand people. I think they look for things wrong with the series. Because, like, the one thing I'll agree with them, Livewire needs a proper costume. I will definitely agree with you all day on that. Lex having care, this is his origin story. Not a big deal. Deathstroke being younger, it's like, yeah, he's not going to mess with the Teen Titans. Most of them are in the 4th grade at the moment. You're going to need to let that man grow a little bit older, and those kids become teens before he starts messing with them.
Yeah.
But other than that, this book is as good, maintains the spirit and the joy of the show. I definitely would say read this. It was wonderful.
Nice. How much do you want to bet by the end of season 2 Jimmy's gonna lose all his money?
Probably. Oh, that's a given.
Because they keep showing the counter going down every episode, and I'm like, he's gonna be in the poorhouse by the time this is over. And then I saw people.
So what you're telling me is he meets up with 18, has a crush on her, and has a counter going down. So he has the Krillin-owned counter.
Basically, he's got the cock, the COC. But what else was going on in this crazy ass show? Yeah, just the story of the Kryptonians. Amanda Waller in a bonnet saying her evil affirmations in the morning is just sending me.
Funny. That part is funny, but no. But yeah, but I do agree with Jafari. My Adventure with Superman, that is definitely a show that needs to it should be getting a lot more attention than what it's getting. But definitely was good.
All right. Next up, Green Lantern and Star Sapphire. This is written by Jeremy Adams with art by Zermico, colors by Romello Ferrado Jr. We are shotgunning this one. Hal gets his ass kicked. Carol comes back with the Star Sapphire ring. Meanwhile, Kyle starts showing signs of regaining his White Lantern powers because he pretty much just nukes almost all the Green Lanterns attempting to arrest the Rebel insurgency.
Right. Although I did love Star Sapphire just showed up and just pretty much disrespected everybody.
Oh, yeah, no. Like, everybody, even the dude running the Galactic Council is like, well, it's like, so we told you to keep them on Earth. And Waller's like, yeah, but their power sets a problem to my plans. I don't want them on Earth. And there's like, we're eliminating the Spectrum for a reason, and there's a reason why we got rid of all the Blue Lanterns and all the Star Sapphires, and now there's a Star Sapphire. Fix this.
And then
which is fine and all because it's Carol and Hal, but like I said, Kyle being over in the background, starting to show regaining his White Lantern powers. That's important.
He's going to be a problem. He's going to be a big problem.
Good book. Green Lantern, for better or worse, still is a solid read no matter what. I do think that we are starting to branch out on the other chords again. I like that we're using more than just Hal. And this is not me doing the Joe being petty against Hal thing. I do like a Green Lantern book where it focuses on the core or a larger spectrum of lanterns rather than just a singular lantern.
No, that's a fair assumption.
Moving on over again, we are shotgunning this one. This is Blue Beetle, written by Josh Trujillo, art by Adrian Gutierrez, and colors by Will Quintana. This is the end of the first arc for or second arc with Beetle, where he fights the giant robot powered by the Green Scarab. Victoria's put in her place. Ted is back up and running, and we will be moving forward to the next arc from here. I liked it. Solid questions on experimentation on living things, because Victoria is basically doing torture to the Beatles. The robot being taken down is kind of neither here or there. It's one of those just big gun meets bigger gun.
Yeah, I mean, it just happens to be a nice way of just wrapping up the arc, which I do get, but you know, still good issue to read.
Moving on over into Marvel, we are looking at Avengers number 15. This is a Blood Hunt tie-in. So naturally, this means this is written by Jed McKay with art by C.F. Vila and Federico Blee doing color. One moment.
All right.
Choking on spit.
Bless you.
Gonna die. Choking on spit. Gonna die. So we are still with Captain America and his hold on.
See, that's going back to haunt you. You suffered it. They came back.
It sucks. That's a big tingle bug over there. I'll have to deal with that later. So anyways, Blood Hunt, the Avengers tie-in. As this is Captain America during a vampire event, which must mean we have to take down Nazi vampires. Being run by Baron Blood, who have taken over a SHIELD helicarrier and are using it to hold millions of people hostage in a attempt to establish a human farm so that Baron Blood can make more Nazi vampire soldiers. Also, Kate Bishop and Hercules is there for hilarity, and Hazmat.
It has not disappointed. Very good, small one. Did Hercules just sound like 4 in this whole entire episode, in the whole cyber issue? I was like,
Kate Bishop, we need a speech to rally everybody. You do it. No, but I'll give the speech anyways.
And then just gives a perfect speech like you just had that one in the pocket, Sam. But yeah, I just like for every.
No, that's Blood Hunt, different one.
Oh, right. Damn it.
This is the Kate Bishop one where so it's like, so you're just a normal person. Yes, but I shoot sticks, and vampires hate sticks.
Although still the whole thing with Baron Blood though, it's like, Captain, we've done this for a while. Yeah, you just don't seem to die.
Good book. Blood Hunt tie-ins are fun. I can't wait for the Magic one. I really can't. That's going to be my favorite out of all of them. Miles Morales Spider-Man, also a Blood Hunt tie-in. You need to read this before reading Blood Hunt 3, because this explains why Miles is a vampire at the end of Blood Hunt 2. Written by Cody Ziegler with art by Brent Peoples and Daniel Piccigato.
Bless you.
Hold on.
Uh-oh. And he really did sneeze. Yep. It has.
There it goes.
Yeah, there it goes.
I should not have eaten that night bagel.
Oh, you good, Joe?
All right. So yeah, I'm good. Art by Brian Vanzella. Like I said, this just pretty much kind of like backtracks and tells you how Miles became a vampire. Kind of has his own mind, because it jumps forward and he has his own mind and he's saving people, but a vampire tears his mask and no one trusts Miles because Miles has, For whatever reason, the only distinction with Miles being a vampire is he has like ears that makes Link envious.
Yeah, elvish vampire.
I don't know what to say on that one. Like,
it's weird that he's half elf. It's like your ears say Lord of the Rings, but your mouth says Interview with a Vampire.
Pretty much.
I guess they're trying to make him stand out. That's just my opinion.
So not bad. I enjoyed it. It was fun. It does give you context for the next part because we are looking at Blood Hunt number 3, written by Ted McKay, art by Pepe Larraza, and cards by Marty Garcia. Pretty much just the Avengers are giving speeches to tell everybody we got this. Blade apparently does not like speeches for whatever reason. Miles goes to try and track down Blade's daughter who has left. And apparently Dracula says, by the way, Blade's daughter's the key to all this. No one let her die. And then for whatever reason, and they're going to use the Moon Knight team is going to go and use the Midnight Mansion to use against the vampires in some form.
Yeah.
Good issue.
But again, it definitely does build up the fact that Doctor Strange is still fighting himself and yet still restoring some sense of humanity in Miles, which I thought was funny. But yeah, it definitely was an interesting issue.
The speech Cap makes is just, I really do think that is Sam's thing. Sam's superpower is just inspiring people.
Which now is ticked off Blade. Which you know what? If he is possessed, I wouldn't know by who.
And I guess he can't get to Wanda because Wanda's put a barrier or something around her. That really wasn't clear what was like surrounding Wanda at this point.
Something to do with the Darkhold.
Oh.
At least that's my guess. It wasn't confirmed, but that's my guess.
Yeah, like Blade has Wanda, but has yet to turn Wanda. But I think he can't get to Wanda.
Right. So she's pretty much just being a witness.
So we got also X-Men Bloodshot with Jubilee, former vampire turned single mom, turned mutant single mom. Pretty much she runs into someone being turned into a vampire, gets turned into a vampire, but because she knows how to deal with vampirism, apparently a vial of rat blood can at least like quench the thirst enough to regain your humanity, your cognitive abilities long enough. And then the vampire, pretty much the Daywalker team, I guess is.
Yeah, the Forgiven. Might as well be the Daywalker team.
Like they're vampires that hunt other vampires. They're kind of like Blade, but I don't think they can daywalk. I think they only operate at night. But like the vampire hunter vampires team up with Jubilee because they're all friends from a previous X-Men issue.
Yeah.
Not bad. If you're a Jubilee fan, this is something to read.
I mean, anybody with light-based powers in a vampire fight is actually kind of helpful. Just
true. It's like part of the execution. That's the other reason why there's a Jubilee one-shot. Is because she is technically part of the X-Men Vampire Extermination Squad, the Exterminators. I'm just wondering where everybody else is, but we'll answer that in a little bit. Next up, we got Blood Hunters number 2. This is a little bit of short stories. The Hulk dealing with vampires. Kate Bishop dealing with vampires again. Dealing with a vampire that's hunting other vampires and 2 ghost twins. Maybe. Then Elsa Bloodstone, one of her friends got turned into a vampire and teams up with Dagger, who cures White Widow's vampirism, but becomes a vampire as a result of it.
Yeah.
Or did she get bit?
She somewhere along the line got bit. It didn't actually show where, but she was bit somewhere.
But held off long enough to cure White Widow of her vampirism.
Pretty much.
Not bad. This is kind of like off to the side what some of the other heroes are doing.
Mm-hmm.
Still better than the Spider-Man tie-in, which we are not covering because that's stupid as shit. Look, I don't care about. Look, it is not me being mean or anything, but you're teaming him up with the Lizard and Misty Knight, which, no offense, Misty Knight's wonderful, but makes no sense in the contest why you're teaming Spider-Man up with half the Daughters of the Dragon and the Lizard to fight Morbius for whatever reason in Blood Hunt. No one's talking about that. Some of these dudes you see in the background are in other comics, but we're not dealing with Peter.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but it's still funny. It's still funny.
This is written by the Hulk is Kerry Andrews with art by Alex Lins and colors by KG Diaz. The Kate Bishop is Ann DeCenti, drawn by David Bodion, and colors by Javier Tartaglia. And the Elsa Bloodstone and Dagger is written by Erica Schultz with art by Bernard Chang and colors by Marcelo Mielo.
Mm-hmm.
And we get to the end. Next up, we get to the end of the Krakoa era. X-Men, Uncanny X-Men 700. This is the grand finale for the Krakoa era of X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
This is written by Jerry Duggan, Al Ewing, Kieran Gillen, with art by Josh Cassera, Phil Noto, Lucas Wernick, Linnell Francis, Walter Simonson, Mark Brooks, John Romita Jr., who actually does a really good job in this one. Why can't you do this with Spider-Man?
You know why.
I know. Scott Hanna, Jerome Opina, Luzano Vico, Stefano Caselli, and Sarah Pacelli. Guess Sarah stopped being Witchblade and became a inker. Art by Romulo Fernando Jr., colors by Romulo Fernando Jr., Phil Noto, David Crowell, Laura Martin, Sonia Obeck, Marcio Menez, Matt Hollingsworth, and Matt Wilson. Lots of stuff. Lots and lots of stuff. Xavier survives an assassination attempt made by Wolverine, has a heart-to-heart with Eric.
Mm-hmm.
Apocalypse, seemingly goes evil for a hot second and starts fighting with the X-Men because he's all the mutants from the White Hot Room reestablishing New Krakoa in the White Hot Room, brought it to the mainland, and the islands merge. So they're going to take Krakoa with them because they've been in the White Hot Room for 15 years, so everyone's 15 years older. And everyone, the main dudes, just tells Bob, it's nah, peace is the way we went, and we're out after this. We want nothing to do with this anymore. So, of course, Apocalypse tries to kill them. The X-Men's got to defend them, and then Apocalypse is look, survival of the fittest. I want all of you, because technically you're all my kids. Even though it's still weird if he was the first or if Celine was the first. We're still not sure on that one. And I want you to always be ready because the humans will always be like this. This is why it needs to be survival of the fittest, not the strongest. After they do this, Apocalypse is you know what? You guys say you got this. I'm going to go to Araco. I'm going to leave mutants there and go to Mars and just stay on Mars. We have wonderful talks with everybody else. We see Jean and Scott reunite. We see multiple mutants just chill at the end of it. It was a beautiful send-off.
Yeah.
This was probably into one of the most exciting eras of X-Men in a good long while.
And that was probably the best possible outcome.
Yes.
That was probably the only way that was going to end properly. So the Krakoan era, the Krakoan arc, I should say, that was actually pretty good. But the whole thing of Apocalypse realizing like I'm not needed right now, I think that kind of broke him a little bit.
Just a little bit, because he's just like, oh, you guys are prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now what?
It's like his whole idea is like, I got nothing. I wasn't ready for this. It's like, what do I do with what?
Also, I think Kurt's probably done the most damage to Apocalypse I've ever seen.
Yeah, definitely.
He grabs his face and teleports his eyes out of his sockets.
As he still fights, and still just whoops ass. But no.
So how long were they in Krakoa? Because I'm seeing so many people do these very sad like send-offs to this entire, however.
So the whole Krakoa era was 5 years. It started in 2019. The actual mutants themselves were, like, the ones that were in the White Hot Room were in there for 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody else was in real time. So, like, 5 years has passed.
Yeah.
Okay.
So about that. But it's actually been, but in the White Hot Room, it's actually been quite longer. But enough time has passed for them to sit there and actually figure stuff out. So by the time they do kind of catch up with the timeline, they're like, "Yeah, we discussed it. We're leaving." That's what it came down to.
But it's not entirely over, because we have X-Men Era of the Apocalypse, which does technically serve as, right here, editor's note, this takes place immediately after X-Men 35, which is also X-Men 700. So Apocalypse has gone to rule on Araco, on Mars, but he wants somebody to take his place on Earth to make sure mutants don't ever become soft. So he gets a handful of people like Richter, Danny Moonstar, Emma, Exodus, Archangel, to see who could get his great treasure and claim the throne as alpha mutant on Earth. And also a surprising appearance of his own son, Genocide, which is the mainline universe version of Holocaust from Age of the Apocalypse.
Okay, I thought that's what that was. It kept bugging me. I was like, why is Ghost Rider here?
Yeah, it kind of looks like Atomic Skull.
It just kept throwing me off.
Huh?
No, I said it just kept throwing me off. The more I looked at him, I'm like, why is he even here? I'm like, that doesn't make any sense for him to be here, but I digress. Keep going.
Transformers #9, written by Danny Warren Johnson with art by George Crona and colors by Mike Spicer. So the Devil's here now. Shockwave came. Lots to talk about in this book. Big drag-out fight between the Autobots and Decepticons. Cliffjumper and Jazz not doing that great. Ratchet really not doing that great. Shockwave has come to Earth, meaning the Devil has once again stepped foot on Fermentera. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I can't help you. You need to start reading the IDW books. There's the Devil, and then there's Shockwave.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Elita One, who has the barely alive corpse of Ultra Magnus, is running for the Gabaticons, and just through sheer coincidence finds a space bridge to Earth. But once again, I enjoy the writing of this because the big standout to me was actually Astro Train, who, per Soundwave's command, goes to find Spike Witwicky, goes to a hospital, holds the hospital hostage, but literally tells the doctors, like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to hurt any of you because you guys are like lesser life forms than us.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need this. We're just here. You're just going to have to deal with it. But I want no harm to come to you. I just want the kid. Which is, again, interesting that the Decepticons are more lenient to the humans than most people outside of Starscream, but we don't need to mess with him anymore. Remember, he kicked Soundwave's cat. Great artwork. More wrestling moves as we see Shockwave hit Prime with the Tombstone Pile Driver in this issue.
Wow.
Is Optimus Prime supposed to be Atlas right here?
Yeah.
He's found the intruder in his studio.
Mm-hmm. Just wow. But it was a good issue, though.
Yeah, no, this was really, really good. It also saddens me because, like, Alita makes Prime leave and Cliffjumper and Jazz are still there.
Mm-hmm.
So Shockwave just starts dragging Cliffjumper away. It's like, we got experiments to do. Painful experiments.
Still, wow.
Apparently the new movie's doing really good, too, with early screenings. So.
Oh, yeah, Transformers 1. Do you say, Tafari, you saw that they got a standing ovation?
Yeah, apparently it is beating all expectations.
I can't wait for that.
That does give hope.
I told everybody the moment we saw Steve the Viacon, we knew that movie was going to be good.
Steve Viacon. Nice.
And rounding up the night, we got Jason Aaron's lead into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with this Alpha series. Each alpha issue is going to be focusing on a single turtle. This one's going to be Donatello, who's somehow got caught in a black market mutant fight ring. And is just kind of like in it to protect the other mutants. So he continues to stay. Meanwhile, old Hobbs from the previous continuity. So I'm really confused. I thought this was supposed to be a full reboot, but apparently Jason Aaron's just taking over the previous continuity and moving forward. I thought, like I said, I thought this was like a full reboot.
Well, let me not say that because I can't say with full certainty if it's going to be a full reboot or they're just experimenting right now. Hard to tell.
But old Hobbs, which was the cat that also got mutated at the same time as the Ninja Turtles, and for a large part of the IDW part was Raphael's surrogate father, because Raphael was originally split up from the actual Turtle team. So in this continuity, only Leonardo, Donatello, and Michelangelo were actually raised by Splinter until much later. Is on the Mutant Islands as he's running the Mighty Mutanable, which in this instance is a actual military task force protecting mutants from humans or being exploited by them. And they run into the scientist who made the mutagen who accidentally mutated herself into a Black Widow hybrid. So kind of a monster thing going on here, but this issue was really good. Jason Aaron, God bless this man. He does not do great on team books, but if you put him on an individual character, that's where this man shines. Like his Punisher is fantastic. His Avengers was god awful, but like he shines more with smaller teams or individual characters, and it really does show here.
Yeah, makes sense.
That's it. That's all we got. We had like a lot of books to go through.
Okay. Well, thank you, Joe, for that. So as we wrap this up, guys, we do want to say thank you for all those that watched, that liked, that let people know this is live, that shared this. We just want to say thank you, especially those that commented. We want to thank you guys as well. Again, on the Instagram side, I apologize. We try to direct you guys over to the YouTube or Facebook sites because we can see your comments versus me hopping back and forth. It makes things a lot easier. But as we are all signing off, Sir Tafari, I'll let you go first. You want to let people know what you're doing, sir?
So you can find me on all platforms underneath this name right here. I post on Mondays to make them a little less terrible. I also do the editing for Blurred's Eye View. We actually did a reaction yesterday. They have a new collaboration with Martian Blueberry and Walmart called the League of Black and Unlimited Dads. So it was really cool. Go check that out. Really hits you in the gut. We also dropped our interview today with Anidas Quinones, who, if you don't know, that is the English voice of Mirko from My Hero Academia. Came out just before the show started, so if you could please go watch both of those, would really be appreciated.
All right. Joe, you want to let people know what you're up to, what you're doing, sir? Aside from probably resting after cleaning out the garage.
Yeah, I got a lot of dust in these lungs from that today.
I was going to say, you need to sleep with an air filters, man.
I'll just sleep next to a fan with my mouth open. It'll clear out eventually. No, I'm everywhere. Twitch Joe, tagging last name Joe, the number 10 LO over on Twitch, but it's also Joe, tagging last name if you look me up. Show a Guy Joe, which at some point we're going to do Ultraman things on there. That new Ultraman Rising movie came out. I thought that was a TV series.
I thought it was too.
Apparently it's a 2-hour movie.
Interesting. Okay.
So we'll hear about that probably next week if I can watch it. And then Total Justice Gaming. At some point I'll go back to fighting, but I will stream some Street Fighter every so often. Probably about an hour and a half. It's been fun getting back in there. Manon is... You can do things with Manon now because of this new patch. I just can't wait to replace all the Akumas with all the Bisons.
You can be seeing old man Bison.
I mean, I'm just going to keep that. Why do we have to keep teaching this lesson every time, old man?
Oh man. Well, aside from that, guys, I do want to first start off with shameless plugging. I do want to shout out with BlurStation.com. Besides me, Tafari, Room Full of Blurs, Geek by Heart, and many others have used the hashtag BlurStation Beta because we've shown tidbits of what the site is, guys. It is the platform, the vehicle that we want to show various things from movies, television, anime, comics. It's basically what we asked for. It is the Netflix, Hulu. It is literally the vehicle that we want you to join. Again, you can join by hitting the Join Now button. If you do that, we do hope that you do select the Blurred's Eye View Affinity membership, where you can select myself, Black Spartan, or Tafari TV. Either one of us, we would certainly appreciate it. And it has the price of $10.99 a month. Yes, $10.99 a month. At the same time, guys, the content is still going to remain there. It doesn't come off. It doesn't get removed. $10.99 a month, what you pay. 36 months of paying $10.99 a month, you do have the ability to own a piece of BlurredStation. And yes, if you are a content creator, if you're wondering, you can have your content on BlurredStation. You do have to join as a member first. Once you have joined as a member of BlurredStation, you'll be able to speak with those behind the curtain. And once everything's worked out, your content can be shown there. And you get to own your content. The only thing that BlurredStation does ask for is just a piece of distribution. Not a bad deal. So definitely check out BlurredStation.com when you definitely get a chance. As for myself, guys, you can find me Black_Spartan615 on the interwebs. As I usually do here, and as far as you'll find me here on Blurred's Eye View every Tuesday and Thursday. Again, guys, our podcast can be found where a podcast can be seen or heard on various platforms. Also on Always Record TV, you can definitely find us there as well. And beyond that, again, like, share, and follow. Like our good friend Reverend Navy says, like, share, and follow costs nothing, takes a second for you to do. We certainly appreciate it if you actually did that, because again, that helps us grow. And that's what we want to do with GetBit. We want this to grow. But we certainly cannot do this without you. Outside that, guys, con season has happened. The rules still apply regardless. Number one, respect cosplayers at all times. Cosplaying is for everybody, regardless of your color, regardless of your weight, size. You can cosplay as anything that you want, except blackface. Just don't do it. Blackface will get your ass kicked. I'm just warning you now. Number two, please groom yourselves. What I mean by that is, guys, wash not only your bodies but your clothes. Use a rag. use a wash rag, use soap, use deodorant, use cologne. Have clean clothes, because these cons can be very spacious, but sometimes it can be sardines in a can. And you really don't want your first impression of you going to a con stinking up the joint. That's all I'm saying. And number 3 is the same rule that I have for myself, that I have for everybody else. These cons, you get a lot farther if you're nice. Manners and kindness go a long way. Simply put, be nice, be kind, share your fandoms. You will get a lot farther in life. But simply put, don't be a dick about it, and we'll all be cool. So as we wrap this up, guys, any last words we call tonight?
GG, Microsoft. GG.
Right.
Happy Father's Day.
Oh, and yes, to all those fathers out there. Happy Father's Day. Hopefully you enjoy your day. I know I did. I got an early Father's Day gift. I can't wait to unwrap this thing and actually get this thing set up and start playing. But if you are a father, whether you're biological or stepfather, or you've been a father figure, really true, or if you're a cat dad or dog dad, if you're a furry dad, this includes you as well. I'm sorry, I'm salivating for some odd reason right now. I apologize. But yes, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. You guys, your hard work, nothing of that doesn't go unnoticed. So hopefully you guys be able to enjoy yourself around your families on Sunday. But again, happy Father's Day. Enjoy your weekend. Outside of that, guys, we'll be back here, same Get Bit time, same Get Bit channel, to cover the news of the week. And again, the thing about fandoms is, guys, we know them, we love them, we share them, we debate them. We do not want to be toxic gatekeepers. We don't want to knock people simply because their tastes are different. The whole thing about fandoms is it brings people in and brings in new people to enjoy it, to keep these things going. Because without fans, fandoms do die. So again, be nice. Discuss your fandoms. Don't be a dick about it. That being said, I've been Will. He's been Joe. He's been Tafari. This has been the Give It Podcast for tonight, guys. Thank you all for watching. We will catch you on the flip side. Peace.